How did you start being a
Well,
gardener?
I used to grow flowers, and then my sister said, well, that's dumb. Why don't you grow something you can eat? I said, oh, really? And then my mother bought me a book by Ruth Stout called How to Have a Green Thumb Without an Aching Back. and she grew vegetables. So I said, oh, okay, I can do that. And I must have been, I guess, 25. And I started gardening. But I grew up in New York City and didn't grow anything.
Oh.
So people say, how did you learn what you learned? I said, from a book. I read a book. If all else fails, read the directions. And I'm still reading books. And I think I might have found a solution to this terrible potato problem. These potatoes should grow lush and glorious until October. They shouldn't die in August.
Yeah.
But the soil is very diseased. It has lots and lots of diseases in it. So I'm going to try something else next year.
How do you feel about gardening at this point? Is it a passion for you?
It's what I do. This is what I do. I wake up in the morning and I read gardening books, and then I bring the dog out here and we work in the garden, and then I go home and read gardening books.
All right.
That's kind of what I do.
How long has it been for you to be that way? I mean, to have gardening as a whole part of your being?
Well, I guess since I was 20 years old. But, I mean, I worked full time up until 1999. And in 1999, then I gardened. And where I lived before, I had fruit trees, and apple trees, and peach trees, and plum trees, and berry bushes, raspberries, strawberries. Had chickens.
Was that a part, having access to these gardens, part of your decision to come to Medford Leas?
Oh, definitely, yeah. If I couldn't have had a garden, I wouldn't have come here.
Oh, good.
So that was one of the things that drew me here. If that and the fact that I could bring the dog. Dog?
Okay.
Where'd you go?
And
She's probably back in the shade.
I think that's great that the residents can have dogs.
Yeah, I think it's very important to be able to have a pet.
Yeah.
Because I also have a cat at home. And these are the critters I live with, a cat and a dog.
So the cat doesn't garden?
No, the cat can't go out. She has to stay in the house, and if she looks at the world, she looks at it from the windowsill or through the screen. She can't go out.
Oh, what a pity. Okay.
She got out once, but it's really not safe for her. She doesn't have claws, doesn't have pointy toes on her front feet, so it's really not safe. She can't climb a tree to get away from something chasing her.
10 toes on each foot?
No, she has the normal 4. She just doesn't have pointy toes on her feet.
I thought you said 20 toes.
Pointy.
Oh,
pointy
I'm sorry.
She's been declawed.
Oh, I was thinking of that would be a very remarkable cat.
Well, she's a remarkable cat, just not in that way.
Okay.
These plants are castor beans. Their purpose is to repel the moles. Aside from that, they're very pretty.
To prepare the garden.
Repel moles.
M-O-L-E-S. Repel moles to keep the furry little creatures away.
Hopefully.
Okay.
They're very poisonous. Their poison is ricin, and the roots exude ricin. All parts of the plant are poisonous. But the roots exude ricin, and the moles avoid the area where the roots extend into the soil.
Now, how large is your plot? Is this,
The fenced-in area, I guess it's roughly 20 by 30. It's not a regular shape.
so these ricin plants, this one, and that, and stand guard over your plot.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. If you like. This is squash and cucumbers and melons. The potatoes are just about done. There were onions over there, but I pulled them all up, and that's buckwheat, which is a cover crop.
Okay.
And the pumpkins came up on their own. I didn't plant the pumpkin plant. As a matter of fact, I didn't know it was a pumpkin plant.
Yeah.
It was just a plant, and I let it live amongst the onions. Turns out there are 11 pumpkins.
Ah,
But it was very heavy, and so it tore down the plastic fence that was over there.
I see.
So I have to replace that fence with this stuff, which I'll do when the pumpkins are done. And this is butternut squash.
Okay.
And in here is something called Turk's turban, which is another kind of squash. And this plot, this is somebody else's plot. This is the cricoras. And this is another one, squash and tomatoes. And this is another person's plot. He's away, and his zucchini are growing to mammoth proportions.
Oh, yes, I see.
And when everything freezes, I'm going to put fencing around here so that the entire garden will be fenced in.
Oh, even though this is somebody else's garden,
Well, mine will be fenced.
you're going
So it'll be the barrier between mine and the other people's. There's another person's garden over there.
yeah,
Will have fencing.
okay. Do any birds live in the birdhouse?
They did. Well, the nestlings have just about left now. There are no more birds living here. They've gone.
Okay.
But there were birds in the birdhouse. And this is another person's garden. This is another garden. The gardens are all delineated by fencing. And
Yeah.
that's one over there.
Yeah. How many gardens are there here?
I think there are 18 or 19.
18 or 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this person got this garden. She thought that was all she wanted. But then once she started planting things here, she discovered it was pretty small.
Okay.
So she wanted something bigger. So she's moving into here.
Oh,
And that's the blueberry patch, which that's my next project is to weed that.
is it past the blueberry season?
Yeah.
Do people come and pick
Well, the
blueberries?
gardeners come and pick them. I think I picked more. Warren Sawyer and I, that's his garden over there
Okay.
with the flowers and the rhubarb in the corner and the tomatoes. And he has 2 castor bean plants.
Hmm.
He and I are working on this garden, and I think he and I picked most of the blueberries.
Oh.
But other people picked some. And the birds picked some.
Ah.
And this is another variety of sunflowers. I grew sunflowers like this 2 years ago.